Hey, good day. Welcome to another episode of Robert Report. I'm your host, Robert BOBTV Brown. Now, today is Wednesday. It's early morning right now, 12:56. Today, Robert Mueller will be going for a congressional committee to talk about his report. Now, MSNBC or CNN begin to go into a probe on some of the questions that Robert Mueller may ask in this congressional hearing. Watch this.
And this brings us to a special edition of our weekly segment, Cross Exam, with Ellie Honig. Ellie is a former federal and state prosecutor and now a CNN legal analyst. And this week, you did something a little different. You asked viewers, what would you ask Robert Mueller as he's testifying? So our first viewer question for Mueller is, did the president obstruct justice, and would you have indicted if he weren't president? Where do you think Mueller will go with this?
So, Anna, we got so many smart and tough questions from our viewers, and this was the most commonly asked one. So, in the report, Robert Mueller tells us that because of the DOJ policy against indicting a sitting president, he did not make a traditional prosecutorial judgment, and instead he gives us this really pretty ambiguous, frustrating, mysterious language about, I do not exonerate him. So what does this mean? And he needs to be asked directly, would you have indicted? Ideally, he will drop the doublespeak, drop the riddling, and give us a straight answer. The time is now. Now, I do think he will try to dodge. I do think he will say something like, because of the policy, I never really considered that question. But here's the thing. There is a way to use Robert Mueller's own language in the report to still get to a very important answer, because what Mueller does in the report is he lays out all these different obstructive acts, and for at least 4 of them, he finds substantial evidence of all the legal elements of obstruction of justice. So Congress should isolate those 4 instances and say, with respect to, for example, the president's efforts to fire you, Robert Mueller, the special counsel, did you find substantial evidence of all the legal elements of obstruction of justice? I think based on his own report, Robert Mueller has to answer that question, yes. And if you string together those 4 yeses, I think it will become very clear that Robert Mueller would have indicted if he could have.
Let's move on to our next viewer question for the former special counsel. Was your report intended to be an impeachment referral to Congress? What's your take on this?
So a little historical background. In 1998, Ken Starr made it an explicit referral to Congress to impeach. He used the I word, and he gave 11 different grounds for impeachment. Mueller, true to form, again, was more ambiguous, and he said things like, Congress may apply the obstruction laws to the president. Well, someone needs to ask Robert Mueller, did you mean impeachment? And Mueller also said, well, there is a process other than the criminal justice system to formally accuse a sitting president. And again, ask him straight up, that process you were talking about, were you talking about impeachment? It's a little bit symbolic, but it's important that Robert Mueller acknowledge what he's talking about. And if the word impeachment crosses Robert Mueller's lips, I think that's going to be a big moment.
Our next viewer question for Mueller, why didn't you subpoena President Trump to testify?
Yeah, so another source of mystification. So in the report, Mueller said that he had the legal authority and justification to subpoena Donald Trump, a controversial legal question, but he said, I could have if I wanted to, but he said I didn't for 2 reasons. First of all, it would have caused substantial delay. Really, that's on Robert Mueller, because Mueller says in the report, we negotiated for a full year. Mueller should have just cut that off after 2 months and say, okay, you're not here to play ball, here's your subpoena, we're going to courts. But here's the really interesting part. Mueller said in the report, the other reason I didn't need to follow through with the subpoena is we had sufficient evidence to make assessments without talking to Donald Trump specifically, specific evidence. So what was that specific evidence, and what assessments did you make about Trump's conduct and intent? It sounds like what he's trying to say there is we had enough to know that he had the requisite criminal intent, the corrupt intent to obstruct. So let's hear it directly from Mueller. Hopefully he will give a direct answer. He left that one wide open in his report, so let's flesh that out.
One more viewer question for Mueller. Have your findings been publicly mischaracterized by President Trump and Attorney General William Barr?
So that's a big, loaded question. But again, I think Robert Mueller's own words compel a yes answer. And this could be the big moment of all of his testimony, right? Because we know that Mueller wrote a letter to Barr saying that Barr misstated the context, nature, and substance of his findings. So Congress needs to ask Mueller specifically how. How did Barr misstate your findings? We also know, of course, that both the president and William Barr have repeated this no collusion refrain. That's not what Robert Mueller found. And so he should be asked, did you in fact find no collusion. I think what he'll say is, I didn't find anything about collusion. I found there's not enough to charge a criminal conspiracy, but no, I did not find no collusion. And then the big one is this no obstruction, total exoneration. So we've heard that from Donald Trump over and over again. Ask Robert Mueller straight up, did you in fact find no obstruction? Did you in fact find total exoneration? He has to say no. And I think that's a very big moment if you have Robert Mueller saying directly, the president and the attorney general have misstated my findings.
Now let's unpack this for a second, because if I'm not mistaken, we're going to go back and look at his testimony. Robert Mueller said, look, y'all can call me in all you want. I'm not going outside of that report. I'm going to refer all my questions to that report. I already answered these questions in the report. Go read the report. He may see. We assume that Congress is going to ask these questions and he's forced to answer yes or no. Nobody is forced to answer yes or no. Even attorneys know that saying a yes or no question will get you trapped up. Even good liars know not to fall for a yes or no. Because you can get in an argument with your girl, she's going to say, well, you with that girl, yes or no? Yes or no? That's called entrapment. No real attorney, classic elite attorney, great attorney, line attorney, will ever put themselves in a position where they're trapped by a yes or no question. Yes or no questions are the greatest trap questions ever. So when Robert Mueller goes to Congress and sit before that congressional hearing, he knows that these yes or no questions are coming. And believe me, because Robert Mueller is one of the greatest liars of all time, because he lied us into the war of Iraq, and I don't trust him to shake a stick. You think you're going to trap this liar with the yes or no question, you got another thing coming. Now, do I believe Trump obstructed justice? Yes, I believe Trump did certain things to obstruct justice. Now, let me take that back. I can't really say that, because if you're talking about him firing Comey, you can't say that's obstruction of justice. You can't say he was planning on firing Comey anyway. You can't say he was waiting for a certain time frame to get rid of Comey. Maybe he didn't want to get rid of him right away. And this just happened to come in the picture, and it looks bad on him if he fired Comey now with this investigation, because he probably already knew that people are going to say that he's only doing this because of James Comey. And James Comey is going to use this if he gets fired anyway. When the bottom line, if I was Trump, the moment I would have came into office, James Comey would have been out. You're not working in my administration, Doc. Anytime that you see that Hillary Clinton broke all kind of laws concerning the Espionage Act and a whole bunch of other laws, having a survey at the house with top secret information from the State Department in your house. Because believe me, if I was black and I did that, guess where I would be? I would be under the jail. But because Hillary Clinton is a white politician, she don't go because you feel like you don't think a prosecutor would take this case. Man, there's a difference between thinking and actuality, Doc. That's why he should have fired his butt. Because you don't need somebody in running your FBI department who's thinking, who's going by their feelings. I don't feel somebody would prosecute Hillary Clinton for this crime. He admitted she committed crimes. He admitted she broke the law. But I feel or I don't think I can find somebody to prosecute it. Dude, that's not your job. Like the guy told me in court, he said, look, I don't go by feelings and emotions of an arbitrator. I go by facts. So whoever told you that I always side with the arbitrator, only if he got facts. If it's by feelings, nah, I ain't doing it. So that's, I would have fired him too. And the other incident that you probably thought he obstructed justice, I'm kind of shaky on that too. But can they use this to impeach him? Yes. Now, will Mueller be used to help the Democrats hang Trump? I doubt it. I doubt it. We'll see. You know why I doubt it? Because Robert Mueller said this.
The acting attorney general asked me to serve as special counsel, and he created the special counsel's office. The appointment order directed the office to investigate Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election.
All right, so already we know that the reason for this whole report was to investigate Russian collusion, not obstruction of justice.
This included investigating any links or coordination between the Russian government and individuals associated with the Trump campaign.
Now, I wonder why he didn't just go ham on William Barr. He just say he made it public. He could say he made it public, well, he messed up, he screwed up, he's a numbnut, and I don't agree with it. He could have said it right then. So what makes you think just because you got him in Congress, he'll say it then? He could have said it right now without any kind of pressure. Free to say it. So what makes you think once he gets some pressure, he's going to change? I'm just saying, he may.
As well, I'm resigning from the Department of Justice to return to private life. I'll make a few remarks about the results of our work. But beyond these few remarks, it is important that the office's written work speak for itself. Let me begin where...
All right, so let me stop there. He said it's important that you just let the work speak for itself. I'm not the spokesperson, baby. Don't be asking me all these same dumb... I just did a video about asking me these dumb questions. You asking me questions that I already answered in a report. The report will speak for itself.
At one point in time, I requested that certain portions of the report be released. The Attorney General preferred to make the entire report public all at once, and we appreciate that the Attorney General made the report largely public, and I certainly do not question the Attorney General's good faith in that decision. Now, I hope and expect this to be the only time that I will speak to you in this manner. I am making that decision myself. No one has told me whether I can or should testify or speak further about this matter. There has been discussion about an appearance before Congress. Any testimony from this office would not go beyond our report. It contains our findings and analysis and the reasons for the decisions we made. We chose those words carefully, and the work speaks for itself. And the report is my testimony. I would not provide information beyond that which is already public in any appearance before Congress. So beyond what I've said here today and what is contained in our written work, I do not believe it is appropriate for me to speak further about the investigation or to comment on the actions of the Justice Department or Congress.
All right, did you hear what the man said? He said any testimony going beyond this report will not be, I'm not entertaining this. Let's go back and listen to that. I want y'all to listen to this 3 more times. Because people think just because he goes sit with the Senate committee that he's going to go beyond the report. He's letting you know right now.
Making that decision myself. No one has told me whether I can or should testify or speak further about this matter. There has been discussion about an appearance before Congress. Any testimony from this office would not go beyond our report.
Bam, there you go. Anything that's in this report, anything you need to know is there. It contains the finding, everything you need to know. Leave me alone. I'm on retirement, dog. I'm chilling. All right, so.
We chose those words carefully, and the work speaks for itself.
We chose those words carefully, and the words speak for themselves. Let's keep it going.
And the report is my testimony.
I'm giving you my testimony. The report is my testimony. I'm not giving you anything else, so why are you wasting your time calling me in here because you want to continue to beat up on Trump? You know, I'm all for beating up on Trump for the right reasons, but not for this witch hunt foolishness.
I would not provide information beyond that which is already public in any appearance before Congress.
You hear that? I will not provide any information before Congress. I want y'all to hear this, man. So we got him coming, subpoenaed the man. He coming in anyway, and now he's letting you know, all right, I come in. I'm telling you, this is my flow. This is what I'm about to do, baby.
Beyond that which is already public speaks for itself. and the report is my testimony. I would not provide information beyond that which is already public in any appearance before Congress. In addition, access to our underlying work product is being decided in a process that does not involve our office. So beyond what I've said here today and what is contained in our written work, I do not believe it is appropriate for me to speak further about the investigation or to comment on the actions of the Justice Department or Congress.
See, I hope you got that. I hope you heard loud and clear with your big ears. I got big ears, man. Look like a monkey, right? The man is telling you, I'm not going beyond a report. This is my testimony. Please don't waste my time calling me in, because I'm going to tell you the same thing. Read the book. Read the report. Read the book. Read the report. It's right there, page 235. You got it on the desk. Why are you asking me these dumb questions? Why are you trying to make me part of a media circus to continue to dump on this dude? The dude dump on himself. You ain't got to do that. Let him trip up on his own doo-doo. Guys, they talking about, oh, these are the questions they need to ask Robert Mueller about this whole investigation. We finally got him down to sit down. That man said, I wasn't planning on coming. If you call me, I'm not going beyond this. Look, the truth of the matter is, yes and no questions are trap questions, and most skilled attorneys know how to weave their way around it and not get that question answered. You can hold them in contempt. Contempt of what? He answered the question in the report. And any judge that will hold him in contempt for not answering those questions is done, because those questions are already answered in a report. But we'll see. I could be wrong. You could be right. I'm Rob Brown with the Rob Report. This is dumb. I'll holler at you later. Peace. Hey, this is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. I want to thank you for watching this particular segment of the Rob Report. Now, before you go, make sure you smash that like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share this particular video. Hit the notification bell. That way you can be alerted whenever we get a new video done and uploaded. Whoop, there it is. But I do try to offer programs available to you that will save you money. So when you get a chance, go to the EJ for All, E, letter J, number 4, all.com, and get educated on one of the most powerful legal protection programs on the face of this planet. Everybody at least need to know about this phenomenal program. I've been a member for 10 years, and it got me out of a lot of situations, saved me a ton of money. And then also, I have a new streaming service available. It's called IXQ TV for $39 a month. You get access to over 6,000 high-quality HD channels, premium channels, you name it, movie channels, sports channel, the best sport packages around. If you're international from another country, you get access to the channels back home. You name it, kids, entertainment, you name it, it's available for you. So go to DominionIXQTV.com, DominionIXQTV.com, and hey, go ahead and put your information in there and get the free trial. Yep, we'll send you a free trial, let you try it out, and I'm telling you, you will love it. And we have a refer for, pay no more ever. As long as you got those 4 people using the service, you never have to pay a cable bill another day in your life. And all those people who support either of those 2 services, I'm going to make sure you have access to the Patreon channel for free. All right, well, I'm Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Holla at you later. Peace.